So with all that, this is part 3. Message 3, communication. So ultimately, ways to kind of test and observe as a wise woman, your dome of protection. And today that really showed up for me. I mean, it shows up, but today was more significant because after I'd had that conversation with those ladies, with those women, in embracing, my protective energy as a woman, they left, and after they left, very interesting, like all of a sudden, the cafe that I go to, like a whole bunch of people started coming in, and I was like, I haven't ever seen this place filled. 111, as I said that, like this. And so, all the tables were taken up, and I had 4 seating areas, 4 seats, and 4 seats are abundance, but what I feel was happening is, there were 4 spirits, and I want to say 4 major arcana that were, those are all fixed signs that were sitting at the table with me, in those 4 seats. Other than my own, I was the 5th seat, so 5 stay alive, and yesterday, June 5th, and all that, but 5, 6, 11, and 12. But there was, I didn't quite feel all of it, the presence of the 4 spirits, but there's a presence filling those seats, and it was because I asked those women if I can sit there, because their drinks were on the table, so it wasn't like they weren't occupying any of that space. But I went and I kindly asked, is it okay if I sit here? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And there have been times where I've offered to let people, especially mothers that have children, sit in that area, and I'll move, but a lot of times they turn me down, and today really showed like why, and the whole side of my body just lit up when I said that, but today really showed why, and how, protected I am. And there was something about the 4 major arcana that came up on the 3rd and the 4th, and I was gonna do messages about that, but I guess this is kind of one of those, another full circle moment. But there was quite a few people in there. I mean, it was pretty packed, but nobody, there were a lot of people standing, and nobody came up and wanted to sit at the table, even though there's clearly, like, there, even the spaces I wasn't, the side of the table I wasn't on, it was still like something else was sitting there, and it created the seed of, kind of like a Forrest Gump on the bus, where they're like, 411, as I said that, and it's like, you can't sit here, like that. And so, I didn't think of it at the time, but in the spirit, something was speaking to those other individuals. I'm telling you, like, I mean, it got packed in there, and I mean, I've had other people come and kind of sit, but they don't stay over there very long. But there was an older man that did come sit, but it was like for a couple seconds, and like a minute maybe, but it was, it felt like some close soul tribe member in some way, but I didn't read too much into it, but I noted it. But I just thought it was interesting because, I was sitting there the place was packed for at least 40 minutes, and nobody wanted to come and sit there. And so, yeah, it was just very interesting. But it let me know my dome of protection, because, had I taken a picture and really shown, like, it put it more into perspective. But there are just some things you're just not meant to see, but because it's not for you, it was for me. But I'm just sharing my experience. And there were 4 seats, and the cosmos have aligned, and literally in more than 4 planets. And so just like the patterns of my narrative and the things that have happened, and just how it unfolds. But today was a big full circle for me today, because with the Orion message, it said this concludes our journey. And I'm like, well, that's nice. And then the fact that I met someone that literally does HR, finance, human development, wears those hats, and I wear those in many other hats. But I realized that was a soul that I was holding space for. When I mentioned something about Soul Tribe, like, she really actually liked what I said that. And that was kind of where that seed got planted, and the whole lower masculine energies of my body's like tingling right now. But yeah, it was a full circle. And that was a lot of the stuff that started in my journey. But throughout the whole thing, it's like I've been holding space for a lot of individuals, but I hadn't met one in HR that did HR, finance, and human, and self-development. And that was a big cycle closed out. And that was why the divine aligned me with the experience today, was to close out that cycle. Like, and right before I was about to leave, they don't always pay attention to all the songs that are playing. I do, but usually a lot of them are just love songs, for my twin flame, and I appreciate that energy all the time, and invite it and receive it, with open arms. But as I was leaving, I was like, oh, this has got a nice beat. And then I was like, oh, I know what that song is. And then the song was on that training season or whatever's over. And I was like, how funny is that? And I just kept getting all these full circle, closing out, like big circles, big, loops of awareness, just closing out, in that. I was only there for maybe like 3 hours, 4 hours, but I was like, it's very beautiful, because like I've been saying, I'm ready to go to the house. I can retire and go to the house. Like that's what I'm ready for. And I've held that for so long, and developed it in the foundations of it in the spirit, with my twin flame, and the other individuals that were allowed to sit at my table, after we all started speaking the same language, and speaking each other's love languages, and all those things. And obviously there's a lot of levels of intimacy that goes into that. But it was just I got to really it was very in your face. Look at your protection, look at your dome of protection, look at your kingdom, look at your queendom of protection. And I've been in that very Empress energy, divine feminine energy, but I also exercise my masculine energy when I have to, and I don't do it in a malicious way. I take sensible efficient, effective actions. I don't do the impulsive stuff, but it was, I know that by just putting out these messages that this is, just one of those spirits. No one ever, there was just that spirit that got laid to rest, in peace. Amen. No one ever talks about that, and I've been just speaking about those things, and they're all in the past now, but it was just just very significant. There's a lot of significance in today, and like always, I want to draw it way out, and I really try to keep it very simple. And there's some irony in another spirit. I helped correct a situation in the spirit, and I saw those notes today as I was flipping through, trying to find a blank page to write on, and there was there's just a lot, and so with that said, I'm going to end it.